What do you think of when you hear the word loner? The definition of being a loner is that you would prefer to be by yourself rather than with others. It's just a statement that is neither positive nor negative. However, I feel like a lot of people view loners in a negative context. People tend to think of loners as someone who doesn't have friends, or who doesn't like interacting with people, or who's weird for not being able to enjoy drinking or partying with others. More villains tend to be loners if you think about it, like Gollum from The Lord of the Rings and Voldemort from Harry Potter. Despite some of the negative views on loners, I've always enjoyed being alone, and at the age of 24, I feel like the tendencies to spend time in solitude is becoming greater than ever before. At this point, I think of myself as a master of being a loner. But honestly, I believe there are many great aspects of spending time by yourself, so in this video, I will be discussing the benefits of being a loner. Getting to know yourself. We need solitude because when we are alone, we are free from obligations. We don't need to put on a show, and we can hear our own thoughts. When was the last time you sat in the chair in the middle of the day with only your thoughts? Was it yesterday, a week ago, or a month ago? I bet it's been a while, and I believe that the main reason is simply that the time that you just think about things alone are so rare, and we are afraid to separate ourselves from others. We live in a society where information is available at our fingertips, and everyone has an opinion to share. Sometimes it's incredible and rewarding to trust that we have the answers we seek. However, this also means that there's a lot of noise in our world, that your voice might get lost in this crowded space. The best way to find you and get to know yourself is to build the habit of looking within, to converse with yourself. Spending time alone with ourselves may not be easy or even desirable, but it's key to getting to know who we really are. When I spend time by myself, I'm only with my own thoughts. This means that I can think about my current state and figure out what I can do to change it if I want to. When I was in junior high school, I spent a lot of time with my own thoughts, so that it led me to figure out the only subject that I could use for the rest of my life for sure was English, and decided to study abroad in New Zealand at the age of 15. Since then, 9 years have passed, and I still think that it was the best decision that I've ever made in my life. You live a life that isn't chained by social norms and obligations. Because you spend a lot of time with your own thoughts in solitude, you can think about what you value and don't value in your life. This allows you to make life decisions based on what you believe in, and you hardly get influenced by others or society. It's easy to stand in the crowd, but it takes courage to stand alone. I believe many people don't like being alone because they might think that people around them would judge them if they chose different things compared to what the majority of them would do. But the truth is that no one cares, and it's likely that the thought of being judged is only within your head. We live in a society where we feel like we never have enough. We are constantly exposed to ads on social media trying to inform us that we are not happy or fulfilled because we don't have this or that product, which is complete bullshit. When we spend time by ourselves and figure out what we value, we become more confident about ourselves. And when we become confident about ourselves, we can find happiness and fulfillment within ourselves, and we don't rely on external factors like owning expensive clothes, houses, or cars to think that we can be happy when we have those things. As a result, life becomes much simpler to live. You can be yourself around others. When you learn how to spend time alone, you no longer feel the need of belonging to a particular group, and you don't need to act like somebody else around people. As a result, you can be yourself all the time when interacting with others. You can't please everyone. There's always going to be someone disappointed, so you might as well make yourself happy and be you. So no matter what kinds of people you meet or you hang out with, you can always be yourself. And if they like you or if they are impressed with you, then that means they like you for who you are. When I'm true to myself, I can feel that I click with some people, but I also don't click with a lot of people. I don't feel sad or disappointed about those people whom I can't connect well with, and I accept that it is what it is. When you feel confident about spending time in solitude, you don't seek other people's approvals for your existence, and you dedicate your friendliness and kindness to only those people who you care for. I can tell you that saves a lot of your mental energy on a daily basis. Appreciating people that you have in your life. When I started studying abroad in New Zealand, as anyone can expect, I couldn't speak English well, that I had such a hard time making friends for the first few months. I always loved spending time by myself, but for the first time, I was forced to spend a tremendous amount of time in solitude because I simply didn't have any friends. When I was in Japan, I never struggled to make friends or never struggled to find groups of people that I could hang out with if I wanted to. But this time I just couldn't find anyone or any groups, which means that I was truly alone in this country. But this experience taught me that having friends or people who support you is precious, and I should never take this for granted. In other words, I started to be able to appreciate the people that I have in my life from the bottom of my heart. I also believe that the reason why I didn't go mad for those months where I spent a lot of time by myself was that I had already been sort of used to spending time in solitude. I assume it would have been so much tougher for me to get used to living in a new environment where I didn't know anyone or anything if I hadn't known how to be alone. I'm confident that because I was able to spend time by myself analyzing and understanding the ways that people lived in New Zealand, I could figure out ways to be a part of this culture and community. That's the end of the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up, because when you hit the like button, the YouTube algorithm helps my channel grow and reach people who are interested in the topics that I discuss on my channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please consider subscribing. Then I will keep striving to create videos that are worth your time. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!